see if this overheats today. We're going to find out in a minute. Hey Kiwi Aaron, how are you, bud? Why is the chat on the screen? Streamlabs is the reason, I think. Right, let me excuse me for a second, fam. Alright, so the audio's working. Lovely. Kiwi Aaron, how are you, mate? Just, hang on, this is a Streamlabs thing, I think. Let's just, oh dear, let's go. Excuse me for a second. I just need to find this. Where's Chrome? There. Log in. Just give me. What is this? Dashboard analytics, themes and overlays. What? No, I don't have one actually. Hey, oh dear. First time ever. Hey fam, how you going, bud? Just chill out for a second. I've got a guy that's running down the river like he owns it, and I'm not in the mood today. Hey Big Daddy, how are you, bud? Mystic, welcome, bud. I'm not even going to look. Great. Oh dear. That's all right. Big Daddy, I think we got bigger headaches today, mate. What? What? Oh, sorry. Did we just see like one part of the French Pelican or whatever it's called go past? God. I've seen everything now. Night little fishing. Mate, why would you bother having the radio roaring on a boat when you're in the river trying to keep quiet, bud? I don't need to, mate. He's going to have to look in the mirror at some stage. For God's sake, /title. Oh. No. Can you just... But Mystic 14, this is the thing, mate, I'm not playing it, which is the headache. Oh. No, I don't want to get bits on my own channel, Twitch, just... Well, there you go, famo. Here we go. Absolutely no control over our stream whatsoever. So, welcome to the stream. For those of you that have been watching the stream after winter last year, this is one of the deepest sections of river, okay? And we did a lot of bait fishing here previously with mullet and muleys. We lost one of our biggest fish ever live on stream across the river there. It hooked the bait. I was using 30-pound braid and I couldn't even move it, and it got snagged in this dead banksia here, right? So look, what we're going to do today is try a different tact now that the floating disco has gone by. Right, Bud Miser, how are you, bud? Yeah, what happened was it was very close, but luckily we had a southwesterly breeze. But just to show you how defez work, Bud Miser, they told everyone to head north away from the fire when the wind was coming from the south. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you got to look after home, mate. That's where the heart is. So luckily I didn't have to get on the roof with a sprinkler or anything. But look, thanks everyone. I still don't know why we've got the words on the screen. I thought we had it. Let's have a look here. Chat overlay, I don't want that. Yeah, I mean, you can't muck around with fire in Australia. Draper, how are you, bud? You can't muck around with fire in Australia, Bud Miser. I mean, it's very important, you know, like a lot of the trees and that sort of stuff depend on fire to germinate seeds and that sort of thing, right? But yeah, that's a story for another time. Draper, welcome, bud. Now let me just get this sorted. I'm going to just plonk this here for a second. Right, and I'm going to plonk that there. Okay. All right, so we can see, I can read chat. Audio's good. Now all we got to do is just get some fish. Always a catch, isn't there? Lucky, how are you, bud? Well, Draper, all of them have that tannin in them, you know. Oh, sorry to hear that, Bud Miser. I think all volunteer firefighters should be on a payroll, mate, personally. No, this is a saltwater river, Lucky. We won't be targeting redfin until we get the first rains, bud. Rightio. Okay. All right. Let's see what's around. That's a fantastic cast from here. Seriously. One thing I did before I came out to the spot today is I washed the reel down with fresh water. That allowed the spool or the braid to get out of there, to you know, absorb some moisture. And first cast has been really good, because sometimes with braid, when it's really dry on the spool, you've got to have a few casts before it layers. So yeah, there's something that I need to get done from now on that'll make life easy. Obviously, if you're sort of you know, driving a fair distance to chase fish, it'll be dry by the time you get there. That's a fantastic cast. We're casting 2/3 of the way across the river with a 3/16 ounce jig head and just a little soft plastic tail, you know. So that's all right, Lucky. If that's all we've got to worry about today, bud, life's good, you know. Oh, hang on, I got to go to Discord. These are the hours and hours of time that you put in on a river, people, chasing fish. This time of year, with all the sunlight and the continuous heat, it does take a lot of the oxygen out of the top of the water. So you've got to make sure that, you know, you get down nice and deep when you're chasing your fish. So the two biggest problems that have occurred when using lures for your fishing is fishing too shallow and fishing too fast. Right, so just slow everything right down. Just let it get to the bottom. And the good thing about that is you learn to watch your line. So at the moment my line's still moving. There's the V, there's the V, there's the V. Okay, boom, it just stopped. So it is very deep here, which is good. And yeah, we just got to figure out which is the right just got to figure out which is the right colour for this stretch of river. Oi! What happened there? I went and trod into a little hole. I'll step out of it now. Well, at least I could have knocked a fish out then. That's better. Yeah, as I went to cast then, I stepped into a little hole and it flung me forward. Yeah, I only, look, you know, the thing is, Bud Micer, you learn until the day you die, don't you? Well, hopefully. And, you know, it's one of those things, mate. I mean, I was in there and I also went, hang on a minute. So I just washed the rod and the reel down and, you know, wet the spool, came here, first cast onto it, you know. So just give me a second. General chat. Right. I think this overlay is in Streamlabs, so I will get rid of the chat for the next stream we are. Otherwise, I'll just go back to Stream Elements. Boom, let's do that. Great, we'll chuck that back. Bring this in here. Benton Fishing, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much to the 51 viewers that are already in here. Yeah, but the thing is too, I mean, it's like anything mystic, you know, you've got to try and work around it. So how'd that get there? Okay. And of course, There's one branch. Beautiful. Right, let's have a couple more casts and see how we go. The thing is too, people, with your casting, I've got a circle in here to fish, so I can't go over the top, and what I've got to do is I've got to change the direction of my casts. So my cast today, instead of being over, it's straight with the rod at an angle like this, reducing the loop as I go through. So, you know, you've got to just try and, you know, work it out sort of thing. Okay. So what I'm doing is when I cast this, I bring my hand forward in front of me, and I've just started turning the rod over so that it goes flatter and it goes up and over, whereas if I did it from here, it'd go straight up in the air. But fatigue will sort that out later. We'll figure it out. Look, I'm using a red head with a white body soft plastic in this stretch, but I don't know whether that's going to be a colour that'll work. That's more of a saltwater colour, but hopefully that gets proven wrong, you know. And the other thing is too, normally in this stretch of river, we have caught a lot of bream before. One day live on stream, we had a 6-0 hook with a huge slab of mullet on it, and we actually hooked a bream in the mouth. Like, couldn't believe it, and I thought it was a little mulloway when it was coming in, but it was a bream. So there are big fish in here, and the biggest bream that I've gotten in this section of river was 48 centimetres long, but, you know, they're few and far between nowadays, especially with all the fish kills in here, you know. The thing is too, we've actually got a bit of a drop off here. So with a drop off, a lot of times fish will be hanging underneath the drop off. So you do get swamped in fairly close. That's better. So what we'll do is have 5 or 6 casts. I'll acknowledge chat, and then we'll just work it out from there, okay? So, and what we'll do then is we'll just try out a few different lures. Can't believe this, we're 12 k's from the river mouth, and a guy belts past in a Sea-Doo with the radio blaring. What are you doing, man? He probably drives a Jeep as well, you know. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not too bad. Hey Bullet, how are you? It's a river in Western Australia, mate. I'm not meant to give out location, bud. Yeah, you and me both, Bud Micer. You know, the other thing is too, mate, normally you can hear snakes in the undergrowth and that, but not when you've got someone with a stereo blaring, you know, like. One thing I got taught when I was younger, right, you've got fiberglass and aluminium boats. Nothing rides as good as a fiberglass, but it needs a lot more maintenance. Aluminium is very noisy, but it doesn't need any maintenance. It doesn't matter what you're in, you always keep quiet, you know, because when I was younger and we were fishing the southern coast, we'd go out in the inlets to do nighttime fishing, and you'd be catching fish. The moment you dropped the sinker, your fishing was over. So we've come down to the spot, and anyway, I wouldn't do it, but that's just me, you know. So unfortunately, those are the people that'll come past when you're in a kayak out in the ocean and try and spray you, you know, to have a laugh. And then when you catch up at the boat ramp, it just gets nasty for everyone, you know. All right, people. Now, we've just had something get smashed on the surface further up here, right, which is good. So they're in here. Just got to figure out what they're biting, you know. If we go back to the little 1/16 ounce jig head, we should get a brim in here today because the brim are further upstream. Beautiful. Lost Cosmonaut. Hey Loki, how are you? What do you mean, Loki? I don't recall. Why? Oh, there is one tool that's belting around. With a very similar username, mate. That's not me, but that's just Twitch, isn't it? So yeah, it was close, Big Daddy, but not that close, bud. The only time I send a whisper to someone, Loki, is to thank him, matey. So let's have a look. Nah, I've never messaged you, Loki. So it wouldn't be me, mate. Yeah, it's the same old story, Loki. When you're on this platform, you know, and you get a bit of a following, there's always some people that just seem to, you know, try and sort of get a bit of clout from it and that, you know what I mean? So we even have people that try and whisper people while we're streaming, mate. So anyway, if that's all they've got going on in their lives, well, that's all they've got going on in their lives. So I can't do anything about it, you know. So and funnily enough, they have to watch the stream to be able to do that, so it counts as a view anyway, you know. So apart from that, hope you're having a good day, Loki. What are you up to today, mate? Rightio, I'm going to try the blue soft plastic here, people. And then I'm going to go to a smelt colour, okay? So let's just change this. Lomo, how are you, mate? What we do is we just use 15-pound braid and we use 20-pound leader, bud. So with the 15-pound braid, usually provided that there aren't too many snags, so it won't really help us here, okay? Yeah, 15-pound braid. I use a 9-wrap Berkeley Dyneema, but I'm actually in the process of getting some 12 and 16 wrap braid sent over as samples, and then we just use a 20-pound leader, mate. So let's have a look at my little filing cabinet of soft plastics. Yeah, let's grab a peppered prawn and see how we go. We'll go like that with the nemesis. Lots of ants around today. Might have rain soon. And then you... Yeah, we're in the process. Hey G-Man Dubai, how are you, bud? Hey there, buddy Cart. Oh, Cartwright? Anyway, hang on. Oh, hey, I'll just say buddy. You can buy these anywhere, Bud Meiser. These are just Berkeley gulps, bud. I've got other soft baits that are turning up. The only problem is I'm just trying to find someone that does a decent enough quality at the right price. I've got the American-made soft baits that I'll be selling, and you know, and buddy, with the game wardens, bud, we don't have as big a following with game wardens over here that you do in the States, if that's what you're referring to, because I haven't seen a fisheries officer on a river like this in 30 years. Wait, there you go. Don't take a step, eh? Hey, Baits by Nimbus, how are you, mate? Yeah, Bud Meiser, the thing is, mate, there are plans to get a bricks and mortar shop a bit later. I just want a little small independent tackle store, you know, out of the way, just doing really good affordable products and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, you just try and work it out from there. So now, people, Baits by Nimbus is in the chat. Last time we were on the stream before the school pickup. Oh, in WA, mate, you can pay anywhere from, I don't know, $11 to $15 a packet for these. No, that's come off again, bugger. Oh, really? Yeah, but the thing is, mate, you know, I always thought they were meant to be around to promote the educational side of fishing as well, and they never do that. You know what I mean? So, you know, and you've got to be careful with that sort of thing too, because a lot of your government agencies are sort of revenue driven. So, you know, it's just, it's one of those things, isn't it, mate? You know what I mean? Like you don't know what the motive is behind it, you know? And I mean, if it ever got to the stage, look, some of the best game wardens in the world are in South Africa, bud. In South Africa, they'll take everything. Oh dear, mate. Or the wife will give you some chores around the house, Nimbus. That's how they normally work, don't they? Hey, Rackledge, how are you, bud? Oh, really? Good rack yourself. How's life treating you, bud? Yeah, but buddy, in Florida, you've got so many other things to worry about, like invasive species, mate. At least here, I'm not going to go along and have a 20-foot Burmese python try and bite me, you know? Yeah, G-Man Dubai. So what I've got here, mate, this is my, that's my Christmas present, okay, that I bought myself, right? And that's my birthday present I bought myself. Or was it the other way around? No, that I bought that first for Christmas for myself, and that even for my birthday. So basically what this is a 2-piece 7-foot medium light Shimano Zodiac rod with a 4000 Stratic. I've never spent this much money on fishing tackle, so I just thought I'd treat myself. What's worse, the drunk boaters, the gators, or the sharks? Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, we see a lot more wild pigs at the pub, buddy. So, yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. On jet, well, we just had a guy on a Sea-Doo here trolling up the middle of the river and had the radio blaring, you know. So I had to give him a bit of time before we could just cast out. Lovely. All right, so what we're using here is a Berkeley Gulp Nemesis in a 4-inch soft plastic in the blue pepper neon. On the east coast, this is an absolutely outstanding lure for mulloway, especially at places like Wardell Bridge and that sort of stuff. So you can use them in the much bigger sizes as well. But in this river, smaller soft plastics seem to work better than larger soft plastics, you know. We are starting to get the cooler evenings and the cooler mornings again, which is good because that's when the fruit ripens. So, but it's been a very, very tough old year with the fishing. A lot of spots that normally produce really well have produced nothing this year, you know. Great. So, oh, nice one, Dubai. Buddy Cartwright, to go to clearer water, you've got to go 10 kilometres that way, bud, at the ocean. All of our rivers are like this. This isn't a freshwater river, mate. This is a saltwater river. So what you've got is you've got the salt water underneath with a thin layer of freshwater on top, but it all merges. This time of year, though, a lot of the freshwater is way upstream. You know what I mean? So, there we go. Yeah, brackish, I know what you mean, mate. Yeah, a lot of our rivers in Western Australia are brackish, buddy. So the other thing is too, like when you go further north and you're fishing, you know, rivers like the, oh, what's it called? I've only said it 1,000 times. But anyway, north of Perth, a lot of the rivers, you'll have mangrove jack and that sort of stuff in them. But that's the nurseries for the fish out in the ocean. Once mangrove jack get to a certain size, they go out into the salt. So all rivers are really important in Western Australia for this sort of... Whoa, people, we just had a big rise behind the soft plastic. That was a mulloway. I don't know whether you saw that on the stream, but we just had a huge, huge rise. That was a big fish. Pull, come on, son. Now, that was either a mulloway or an oversized brim, and it was right behind the soft plastic. Come on. That was a... Oh, when they go to the surface like that, they're not really in a mood to play. So if we do hook this fish, it's going to be on and it's going to head straight for the snags. I don't really want to dive into the water, but if I have to, I have to. That was a big fish, so... Whoa, 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 come on. Right. Okay. Man, that was a big swell. So, let's take that back. That followed that right up to the bank, fam. Okay? Oh, nice one. Yeah, we'll try. Yeah, that's actually wind in there. What I'll do, right, I'm going to bring the camera closer, right, because I think we might be on today. I think that was a brim. I don't know whether it was a brim or a mulloway, but it was a big brim. So what we'll do is we'll drop down to a 1/16th ounce jig head. We'll use a 3-inch Nemesis soft plastic in a shad colour, which matches the fish in the river. But it's going to be quite difficult today, people. So that was a big fish that rose behind that. Come on. That was... When they shoulder out of the water like that, that wasn't a mullet either. Right, so what I'll do is I'll give you the third eye perspective, right? Now, if there's anyone that's got a 4K television while they're watching this stream, I have tried to stream on here in 4K, but I think Twitch only allows 1080p. So, oh bugger, that hit it too. Right. Yupto, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Ah! Seriously, this tablet wants to die. Not for any other reason other than the fact that I'm using it. Rightio. So, let's head down here. Right, what we'll do, we'll flip the camera. Okay, that'll give us a little bit more. That way you can see. I think we're going to have a fish take a soft plastic quite close to us today, fam. Right, so I want everyone to see what's going on. All right, it's all about the community and what they can see. Okay, nothing else, right? The sun's in the right position. Great. Let's chuck this down here. Chuck this down here. Oh, come on. Right. Let's chuck that there like that. Okay, I don't need to see leaderboards, Twitch. I don't care about leaderboards. I care about content. Okay, so rightio, let's just zoom this in a bit. Right, let's try that, shall we? What happens when you've got thunder clumping fingers and you press mute on the screen? Oh dear. Now people, when you fish with soft plastics, right, especially for brim, which are a deep-bodied fish, I'll give you a rundown to everyone that's in the stream from the States, right? Our black brim are a little bit like your sheep heads, minus the stripes, right? So they're like a bronze colour, okay? And what you've got to do is when the fish takes the soft plastic, you've got to put the hurt on it straight away, because if it gets a chance, it'll go into the snags, you know? Rightio. All right. Another twig, that's right, it shows right on the bottom. Certainly is, bud. You might have to turn it up a bit, mate. Turn it up a bit, mate. Turn it up a bit, mate. Yeah, that's not coming out of the phone. What I'll do... Hey. I'll bring it in a bit closer and see how that goes, yeah? Is that a bit louder? Should be. Right. Now people, what I did in between our last stream when Baits by Nimbus was in here, I ordered 20 lures in custom colours for Western Australia from Baits by Nimbus. And what we're going to do is, I've got another 10 that I need to get on the way. And what we're going to do is, Baits by Nimbus and he's actually going to, I'm going to buy in the blanks for lures from America. Baits by Nimbus is going to paint them up for us and we're going to sell them in the shop once we get everything going, okay? So apart from the lure bodies, it'll be an Australian sort of, an Australian lure, you know what I mean, painted by an Australian. No, it's just terrible. Right, okay, so, no snakes in there, good. A bit nervous around here. Alright, yeah, so, rightio, so what we've got here now is have I got enough leader on here? Your fingers will find out if you've got blemishes on your leader more than your eyes, people. Jeepers, so that's like a corrugated tin roof. What's that like? That seems okay. Alright. Yeah, you and me both, mate. You're probably not going to look forward to it when I tell you how many lure bodies I've ordered, bud. I said to him, yeah, mate, I just do it in batches. The guy from America loved it. He goes, oh, thanks, you know. I'm not even going to try and attempt to do an American accent and insult the American viewers in our stream. Okay? I'm glad Dances with Disc Drives has finally gone past. You should have seen it before, Nimbus. We had a guy in a a Sea-Doo trolling down the middle of the river with the radio blaring, son. Could not believe it. Let's see if this charges it a bit quicker. Should do. That should do, I think. Rightio. All right. So now what we've got to do is make a little bit of a plan. Okay. We know there's a fish down there that's hungry. It just depends when it decides to bite. So I'm just going to put all my Rode microphones away. Righto, people. And also, while you're here, Baits by Nimbus is currently on TikTok, but he has got all his socials on his Twitch page. Yeah, no worries, mate. Okay, so give him a follow and let him entertain you, all right? And as I said to everyone in the stream, famo, I never want anything for nothing on the stream. And normally what content creators do, is they'll say stuff like, yeah, mate, you know, I've got this many followers, I've got this many viewers, rada. If you give me your lures, I'll use them live on stream for you. Means absolutely nothing, people. So what we did is we ordered the lures, we paid for them, And once he's done them up, he's going to send them to us, and away we go. It's going to be happy days. That's how it should work, you know. There's no bullshit with us. So, you're welcome, mate. That's the way. See, that's the way it is. Baits by Nimbus. Good man. Right. Okay, now I did have a pair of scissors here somewhere that have decided to, you know, great. Right. Turn around. So I've got some washing that's on at the moment, people. Once the washing's on, I'm going to be able to go and finish work today. So I thought, while the 3-hour dry cycle's on, none, Neville. None at all, mate. Got more chance of watching a chopper rerun, mate, than me catching a mulloway at the moment. But I've got a funny feeling that could end today, Mr. Bartos. How's the weather over there, son? Is it raining bullets or what? Hey, Neville. Never be afraid to fail when you're a streamer, bud. You know what I mean? This is live, mate. It's real. And a lot of people that are on here can appreciate the efforts that it takes to go in and get, you know, things done, so to speak, bud. Oh, I'll get me filing cabinet of lures out here and soft plackies. Oh dear. Oh well, just got to use my teeth. Yeah, I'll need it, Nev. Oh, but bud, Miser, that's what they do, bud. That's what they do, mate. They always make it out like they're doing you the favour, bud. If you want to support someone, right, you buy their product, okay, and then you pay for it. That's how you support someone. You don't try and bullshit them just to try and get something free, mate, you know? Oh, dear. Rightio. Yeah, send me that in a message, Baits by Nimbus, not in chat, bud, okay? Hey, thanks, Kiwi Aaron, and I appreciate the time that you give up to watch the stream, mate. That's what we're about here, okay? Oh, that's not good. Right. So... Now, do I need 1/16 or do I need 3/16? That's the hard part. So what we're going to do now, people, we're going to drop. Oh, we're going to drop down to a lighter jig head, right, and also a different lure. So let's just chuck that over there. Did that snap? Surely not. These aren't made very well, are they? Raikul, how are you, bud? bream and mulloway, mate. That's about the only thing we can target in our rivers. It's not like the eastern states where they get everything. Oh, mate. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise how much salt water we've got in our rivers in Western Australia, fam, you know. I want to get this smaller jig head so that I can, oh dear, where is it? Let's get that smell. Oh, that's right, pal. Unfortunately, a lot of the waterways are getting more and more salt. Oh, there's plenty of bull sharks in here, Nimbus. Hundreds of them, mate. One of the local schools, one of the sporting teams is called bull sharks. I have no idea why. Tell you what, mate, you're lucky you moved to Victoria because you can actually get fish now. Hey? Right, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down to a little 1/16 ounce jig head in a modified hook. Right, so we'll just get that sorted, hang on. Oh, they find bull sharks for kilometres upstream too, Nimbus, you know. On those really long, hot summers, mate, a lot of the old timers reckon they used to reach Collie, but I don't know about that. So what's the closest you've come to the magic meter mark on the cod, Nimbus? Oh, well, at least it's an A, you know what I mean? That's an A fish, 89 centimetres. Over here, with the fishing, you know, we sort of tend to use the meter club for saltwater fish. So mulloway, it's a meter. That's the like magical mark apparently. I didn't realise that. That's right there. All right, we've got a bit of wind now, which is good. So we'll get a bit of oxygen into the water. Oh dear. Yeah, Rokiel, the thing is with fishing tackle, mate, a lot of it's been done, you know, quite a lot. And, oh, nice one. So, yeah, I just use the, and a lot of the jig heads and that are just rehashed versions of old jig head patterns that have been for a long time, Rokiel, you know. So, I mean, that's just how it goes, you know. Now, because that was a fairly half-decent brim, people, what I've done, right, is I'm going to put a really small smelt pattern on here, right? So usually with the smelt patterns, they work really well in our rivers. Oh, my old eyes are failing me. There we go. All right, so see that? That's got a bit of a hook in it, so let's just chill that out a bit. All right, so what we've got here, okay, is we've got a little 3-inch smelt soft plastic on there. Okay, that's perfect for brim. So I'm not going to use super glue at the moment. I'm going to get a cast in and just let a bit of the scent get off it, and then I'll glue it if it needs it. The little soft plastics have got more tension in them than the bigger ones, fam. Right, let's hope that brim's still around, eh? Yeah, nice one. That's still a good cast with a 1/16 ounce jig head. Where's all this oil coming from on the surface? That's not algae, is it? Yeah, the next problem we're going to have if we don't get any rain soon, people, is algae. A few of the rivers have been cut off down south for people to swim in them, you know. That's a stick. Beauty. Was that another boil? No? The bait keeper, okay. The other thing is too, people, the Swan River in Perth is an awesome fishery. The Swan River's got the state record for bream that was caught up around Maylands behind the police academy there. So, you know, if there's anyone in the stream that lives in Perth, don't be afraid to fish the Swan River, but it's the same old story. You've got to find the fish, you know. These are really nice soft plackies. They've got a fantastic action in the water. Beauty, that's good. And thanks for the 76 viewers that are in here, people. Wednesday's not usually a popular day on Twitch to stream, so thank you very much for coming in. Rightio. Beauty. It's quite unbelievable how far you can cast with braid and balanced gear nowadays, because in the old days when we had only monofilament, people, it was a nightmare. The amount of grip that mono's got on guides is off the charts, you know. Right, so smelt's not really working. Might have to go back to the blue, I think. I think that might have been a mulloway actually, but we'll wait and see. You've got to remember, people, the fish are down there. You've just got to put in the right colour combination and right technique to get them to bite, you know. Which is the $64 million question. Hi, Blood Angel. What do you mean by that, Benton, in terms of like fish being caught, or? Yeah, matey, I don't like bream tournaments at all, bud. And I've been fishing the Blackwood River since the 70s, mate. So when they get on the river, they act like they own it, and they're all, you know, the boats and all the rest of it and all the spono stuff and all that sort of thing, mate. And the amount of fish that are in there floating upside down afterwards, because not all of them do the right things, ridiculous, man. So, yeah. All tournaments are designed to do, Rakiel, is sell tackle, bud. All right, we've got another stick on the bottom. At least we're clearing all this out. And over time, that'll get better for us to actually hook fish. At least we know it's on the bottom though, you know what I mean? We've got the main structure and everything, so Not really, mate. It's been a pretty long, hot summer, Benton. We had one before. Well, Rakeul, it's like human beings, mate. You know, people say that man isn't inherently evil, so why do we need lawyers, courts and police, bud? All right? Don't listen to them, mate. So, I've had plenty of run-ins with brim fishers, mate, that think they own the waterways. You know what I mean? Just because they've got a boat and they think they're sponsored. So that's exactly what's wrong with fishing. The ones that really annoy me are the ones that'll follow you. Oh, that was a hit, fam. That was a hit. Damn it. Oh, damn it. That was a hit. Yep, you can just see the little teeth marks at the back. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in them, Rakeul. A few years ago, when we first started streaming on Twitch, a few of the Twitch streamers had this tournament and that sort of stuff, and I made the mistake of trying to enter it and all that sort of stuff from Australia, and yeah, they all thought they ran the fishing platform on Twitch, which was just stupid, mate. So I ended up just pulling out of the tournament and just not even showing any interest in it, and then after that I had nothing to do with them, just sick of it. Don't want to have any ego with fishing at all, you know. So, yeah, mate. Little nimbuses. Oh, that's right. Wednesday arvo is your arvo off, man. At one stage there, they were coming into the stream and telling us how to run the stream. So I just said, yeah, get out. You know, it's just the ego that comes with tournaments, mate. And they weren't sponsored or anything. They just thought they were, you know, so you got to laugh it off. Great. Get out of there. No. There we go. Let's do that again. Yeah, I hear you, Benton, but you need that for the spawning cycle of fish, don't you? Yeah, it's not even that, Rakeul, you know. Like I said, mate, there's a very dark side to streaming on Twitch, bud. So, you know, you've just got to try and avoid it, don't you? And, I mean, the platform in itself provides a way for people to express themselves, but it comes down to intent, doesn't it, mate? You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what some people do, they just don't have the good intentions, you know? So, anyway, life goes on, mate. And ironically, the whole idea behind the tournament was to, you know, get partnered in that. And we were partnered when we did it. But, you know, just the things people do. Rightio. Now, let's just see if there's one underneath this snag. I'm just going to do a little pendulum cast. There we go. And ironically too, mate, you know, one of my pet hates is Joker says, how are you, bud? Oh no, this is years ago on Twitch, mate. So, Nuggets, how are you, bud? It depends, Nuggets fan. If you've got an overcast day, I'll tend to use lures that are a little bit darker. You know, like your browns, your greens, your black and all that sort of stuff. I'm using a smelt pattern at the moment, which is like a brown colour and matches the fish. No, get out of there. In the waterway. Bastard. So, G-Man Dubai, you can practically camp at any river you want in Australia, mate. It's not like other parts of the world, right? Australia's a fairly free country, mate. But the thing is, though, because of the antics of a lot of people recently, I think we're going to find that the bush is going to get, you know, closed up soon enough, bud. So that's not too far away, mate. You know what I mean? All right. Well, so people, what we can assume from our little foray, right, is that fish that rose before was in the middle of the river, right, and it followed our soft plastic in from the middle of the river. So that's life, Dubai. People never ever take responsibility for their actions, bud. Okay. So Joker says basically what it was, mate, they tried to figure out a formula irrespective of where you were in the world to, you know, get you to catch fish, and they figure it out against an average of state averages and all that. But that wasn't my issue. When you've got people messaging you, telling you to go and fish, you're just like, mate, grow up, you know. Oh, humans are so bad in general, mate. Right, and you can't do anything other than control your own actions, bud. You know, what someone else's does is up to them, as long as it doesn't affect you, you know what I mean? So that's all it comes down to. You got to lead by example, mate. You know? That's right, Joker. Buzzard, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. Right, I'm going to give this a longer leader now, which is going to be harder to cast, but we're going to have to do that. Going to have to use a 3/16 ounce jig head. Oh no, maybe that's 1/16. Pretty quiet, Buzzard, but that's fishing in Western Australia, bud. Let's not use that. You know what? Let's use one out of left field. Let's go the nuclear chicken colour. No, this is the Z-Man. Let's try that. I like Z-Man lures, they're pretty good. Apparently this is the rage over east, this colour. I, on the other hand, can't catch a fish with this coloured soft plastic to save me life. Oh dear. The other thing that I get a bit, I think's a bit average is when a lot of content creators copy other content creators on the platform. So for example, there's a guy on YouTube, someone messaged me the other day to tell me, there's a guy on YouTube that's fished the 50 states of America, and I don't even know which streamer it is, but apparently there's a streamer on here that claims that. And I mean, all they've done is just copied a YouTube streamer, you know? It's ridiculous. But that's what you're dealing with when you're live streaming people, you know? Mob figure, how are you, bud? Certainly is, mate. Top quality, American made, Loctite super glue, the Power Flex, the gel. Okay, that's what I use when I'm fishing. And it has had some really good results. Although this soft plastic's a bit average for some reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to try something out of left field. That was a fairly big swirl before. So I'm going to go to a 5-inch soft plastic with the longer hook. All right, good, that's out there. Let's leave it. Get out of there. Right. Ah, don't do that. All right. Why is that, mate? Why is it unbelievable, bud? I've been using super glue on soft plastics for bloody 15, 20 years, mate. Nice long leader. Let's hope it works, eh? Get away from there. No, it doesn't, mate. You've obviously never used gel. Sorry, gel. The liquid super glue has a very strong odour. The gel doesn't for some reason. That's why I use the gel. All colours are relative to the area that you're fishing, mob figure. So where you fish, purple may work. In other parts, it may not work, mate. So it just depends on where you are, you know. Freshwater's different to saltwater, which is different to estuary. So congratulations on cracking the code. But that's an opinion, not necessarily a fact, bud, you know. And that's half the battle, just figuring out what works in your neck of the woods, you know. And the thing with fishing too, people, it's all about the bigger picture. We may not be doing too well in this stretch of river, but when we go to another one that's got a larger amount of fish, we'll do very well. We're just honing our skills here, you know. Yeah, it just depends, mob, you know. Black soft plastics work very well in freshwater down here. So most of your bait, most of your food sources in freshwater rivers here are about that long and black. So that's what you use in the soft plastic and your lures, you know. So might flick out a couple of hard bodies, people, see how that goes. Let's just use this, see if we can entice this fish in again. Then I'm going to have to try and get it to go over in this little area on the right where this creek is going in. Beauty. That's a very light lure that we're using there at the moment. Master 5, how are you, bud? Yes, mate. Caught tuna live on stream when we had the boat, bud. Got a southern bluefin tuna out here on the coast, and we caught a little juvenile yellowfin as well. Actually, this is the time of year where they start to really come in this heat as well. You'll see them quite often smashing up schools at Taylor and that sort of stuff, which is quite a hairy situation to be in if you're in a kayak, but we're in a boat at the time, you know. Well, the blue peppered prawn, no, blue pepper neon is the only one that we've had a genuine like follow on, so we'll stick to that, eh? Beauty! Oh, that's better. Get out of there. Yeah, tuna are pretty good, mate. You can get them on metal slices and saltwater fly, all sorts of stuff, you know. It's the same old story. You just got to look for the birds on the water and just find out where they're feeding, you know what I mean? But river fishing this time of year with soft plastics for mulloway and that sort of stuff is very, very hit and miss, people. You've just got to try your best, you know, which is what we're doing. All right, I'm going to have a couple more casts with this 5-inch, then I'm going to go back to a 4-inch tail, and then we're going to see what we can do from there. I'll show you another technique with soft plastic. So this is a 5-inch tail, right? Okay. Rightio. You can actually fish this on the surface like a surface lure, watch. So I'll sit there, see where I've got this coming in on the surface like that, and then what I'll do is I'll just drop the rod tip and I'll let it sink as it starts to head to the bottom. And what that'll do, that'll just flutter down to the bottom really, really slowly. But with that size jig head, I should probably be using a 3/16 ounce or a 5/16 ounce jig head, because that can actually suspend off the bottom. Edward, how are you, bud? Good, mate. Rightio, tide's coming back in again. Excellent, Edward. Rightio. All right, so let's go back to a 4-inch lure. What do we got here? What I'm going to do now is we're going to try a peppered prawn, right? This is actually fairly similar to what we've got in our rivers here, so hopefully this will do the trick. So see that? That's fairly similar to what we have in our waterways here, famo. So, and this will flutter down quite nicely to the bottom, which is good. Ryan, how are you, bud? How's your day going, mate? You well? Nice one, mate. How's your Christmas and New Year? Did you celebrate? Yeah, we're not doing much catching at the moment, Ryan, that's for sure. We'll have to leave that for the saltwater. Excellent, mate. That's what it's about, bud. So this is another colour as well. This is called peppered prawn. I'll show you this. Right, this is actually quite similar to what we have in our waterways here. All right, that is very similar to the bait fish in our waterways, okay? So this is in the Nemesis style with the wavy tail. The good thing about this wavy tail like this is you can retrieve your soft plastic slowly and it still has an enticing action on it, okay? So that's why we use it. Right, I need to... all that bearing up. Rightio, let's see if this does the trick. Beautiful cast, lovely. All right, let's go again. Yeah, we try. They're hard enough to get on bait, Ryan. So on soft plastics is a pretty good effort, you know. I think I'm just going to have to go back to the old favourite, I think, and use the same soft plastic that we used last time, but that's all right. The one colour that has worked in recent times is a chartreuse, which looks like absolutely nothing that swims, you know. So all right. Doesn't seem to be doing the job. Hey, what happened there? This is the thing, people. When you fish in rivers in Australia, you've got to spend a lot of time on the water. It's very rare to rock up to a river and get a fish straight up here, you know, especially this time of year. So, but that's all right. We put in the time, we put in the practice. You would like to think that it'll pay off, but anyway, stranger things have happened, you know. All right. It is, Ryan. It is a lovely day, bud. Every day's a lovely day when you're breathing, mate. As you get older, you tend to appreciate that more, you know? All right, tide's coming in. We'll give it till 1 o'clock, eh? from there. All right, let's swap that around. Hey, Jim1231, how are you, bud? What's going on, bud? Right, let's get the same rig set up that we had last time when we got that fish. Best to stick to the devil that you know, Rightio, let's take that off there. What's been going on, Jimbo? You behaving, mate, or you playing up again? We're on most days now, matey. Wow, 100 viewers. Thanks, fam. Looking forward to spring in NZ. Nice one, mate. Go and chase all those freshwater fish, eh? Oh, dun, 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 dun. Oh, people, we're in the process of organising a new boat as well, but more about that when I've got actual time to use it, okay? All right, now, where are those jig heads? Ouch. As I rummage through my tackle box. Yeah, it's content, mate, that's the thing, isn't it? Just got to provide content, mate. Get a little 3/16 ounce jig head and cast it out. We'll see how we go, eh? Actually, you know what? I might try this bloodworm pattern. Yeah. I think you're in the wrong stream, mob figure. That's got nothing to do with my stream, bud. So you might have to go and speak with Shook about that, bud. Yeah, just try and stick to the relevant topic of the stream, mate, eh? He's the Harvey Bay King, mate. You'll need to ask him. Oh, God, come on. Mr. Croatian Eagle, how are you, bud? Mate, just normal, bud. Your raw animal magnetism has no limits, Croatian Eagle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, thanks for the 100 bits, mate. How are you today? Another name change. What's going on? No, that's south of it, Budmeister. Now, the fact that you know what that's like all the way in Miami is a little bit disturbing there, Mr. Croatian Eagle. So, anyway, just throwing out there, bud, you know what I mean? Yes, and look what happened to him. You just need to know, You just need FFKA in front of your usernames. Follower formerly known as. All right, little 3/16th ounce jig head. This is going to go a mile. Watch this. Lovely. Right, we can bring this in a bit quicker actually. Tide's coming in nicely. And once this one's done, we'll whack on the chartreuse one like we did in the other time. At least it's staying on the bottom though. That's a good point. Give this one a few casts. That's a very good cast with that light jig head. Whoa, what happened there? They got hit on the head. Hey? Probably the lure that I'm using at the moment, Jim, with my current luck as it is. But we only have a couple of fish that take soft plastics in this river, mate. And they are Western Australian black brim or Western Australian mulloway, mate. You know what? Let's just throw one of these on. Such a beautiful colour. It's the same as most rivers south of Perth, Jimbo, if you know what I mean. So in perch you will get trevally in the Swan River. You'll get some juvenile Samson fish and all sorts of stuff, mate. So, you know, just depends on what you're trying to achieve, you know. But soft plastics are huge now compared to the old days, so there we go. Excuse me for a second. Good cast. Now this is going to be interesting. How's life been treating you, Mr. Croatian Eagle? That's working very nice actually. I'm using a very strong leader which the fish can probably see, but it is fluorocarbon, so hopefully that won't put them off that much. And this is fishing, famo. You just got to put in the time, try new things. Now the line straightened there for a second, so that might have been hit on the way down. Let's see what's happening, eh? All right, so the wind's blowing that. That's why you've always got to watch your braid when you're fishing, people. That's why braid is usually quite a bright colour, so you can see what your line's doing, you know. And even though the maps don't say this is a deep part of the river, it is. Another stick. Well, there you go, Jimbo. We caught another stick. We didn't even land that. In the river, about 1.1 metres in Perth, bud. Back in the 90s when I used to work in the tackle stores. And off the shore, about that, I think. So, yeah. All right, so we've just had some bait fish scatter in front of us. So there must be a fish that's come in underneath here. Hopefully it's come in to intercept this lure before it reaches the bank, you know. That would be nice, but doesn't normally happen to me. And in turn us on the stream. So... Oh, hello. Now, there was a little silver flash then for a second, fam. So, we had a follow on that. So, blues and greens work. That's interesting. Rightio. Let's load it up and go again. If you want to Google Big Mulloway, Jim, Google South African Cob, K-O-B. They are some of the biggest mulloway in the world. They grow, I think, up to 100 kilos over there. There's been reports of 80 and 90 kilo specimens caught, you know. Hey Sugar Honey, how are you, stranger? Welcome to the stream. What have you been up to? How's Hitman going? Is he well? Has the finger recovered from the injury at work? I don't know what a type on fight's like, Jim. Hey, thanks, Sugar Honey. Hope you and Hitman and your family and the pups had a great Christmas and New Year, mate. Always good to see you in here, Sugar Honey. Normally when Sugar Honey's in the stream, I catch a fish, so hopefully that's an omen for today, eh? so bad, it's not so bad. Oh, that's all right, mate. Don't stress, bud. Yeah. Not certain words, mate, only certain emotes, sugar honey. Oh, that was nearly my first catastrophe on stream. Hey there, Ammo. Oh, it's the same old story, bud. You know, you just got to look after your own backyard. You know what I mean? If you're genuine, mate, you find beauty anywhere, you know? And I mean, this is just a local river that's a very tough river to fish. So it's a very good river to get sharp on with your technique and that. So when we do head down to rivers that actually have a lot of fish in them, that don't have the pollution in them that this does, we're actually switched on from the start, you know? So, and the best thing about this is, Ammo, we can share it with the community, bud, you know? So that way I won't like sullen their view that much, if you know what I mean. So we had a huge boil behind a soft plastic before, people. So I'm just sort of waiting for the, oh, what was that? For the fish to come back, you know. It was a massive boil. The fish that was in there was quite large too. Yeah, thanks, Big Daddy. I'll work off that. Moore River, yeah, Moore River's a really good fishery, mate. Last time I fished Moore River was when the late 90s. And we used to use lures that they don't make anymore. They're called the, what were they? No, anyway, mate, yeah, we were just belting around in a friend's boat using lures that day. And the fish up there are a lot smaller, so you got to alter your technique. So the, I think we caught and released over, oh, it was easy 40 fish that day just using lures, you know. And then, oh no, tell a lie, I have fished the Moore River after that, but we would fish the Moore River when the banks broke, you know? Excuse me. Let's have a few more casts and see how we go. No, I don't, Jim. Don't, mate. Mulloway are a very slow growing fish, much like black brim, and their numbers got absolutely decimated by net fishing back in the 80s, bud. So they've never really recovered from that. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but I remember as a kid going through some of the southern parts of the states and piles of mulloway on the bank, up to 80, 90 pound, just dead, getting sold off as cat food, you know. So, you know, that's how that goes. All right, we have a tide coming in now, famo. Excellent. Can have a few more casts with this. That's how most places are, Jimbo. Right. We've got just as bad a track record with ecology and other things in Australia than any other part of the world, mate, you know. We're not as bad on pollution, but in the winter of this year, what are we in now? March. So, no, leap year this year, 2024. So it's the 29th today. No, 28 still. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, we're about 8 weeks off our first winter rains. And when the first winter... Oh, we just had a hit, people. I don't know whether you saw that. I think it might have been a little tailor, but the fish have come up with the salt water. How the hell did it miss that? Anyways, let's go again. Might be a little tailor in here for a laugh. So, yeah, no, Rob Aussie, the Paris Olympics have nothing to do with the 29th of February. The reason why we have the 29th of February tomorrow is because it's a leap year, because you can divide the number of, like, the year, like 2024, by 4, and you get an even number, mate, okay? So that's why we've got a leap year. The Paris Olympics come along every 4 years anyway. Oh, not Paris Olympics, but the Olympics come along every 4 years anyway, mate. All right. So they like the chartreuse. Mr. Croatian Eagle, thanks, mate. All right. Yeah, further upstream the other day, we had a tailor hit twice that was about, would have been an easy 1/2 metre long, which is quite big for the river, but they come in and they spawn and they get straight out, you know. Don't want to sit here and try and catch chopper tailor though. There we go, that's the cast. Yeah, see on the right there, a fish just hit something on the surface. That's not a mullet, that's something else. Oh, nice one, mate. Yeah, that's a fairly good point there, Jimbo. Right, that's a fairly good point there, bud. That's the problem, you know. We've got more people in Western Australia than we ever had. And then the fishing pressure is off the charts, you know. All right, let's take this one away now. We'll try a different colour. The Brisbane River, why do they want them to get eaten by sharks, Robbie? That's a dumb move, mate. The Brisbane River's got more bull sharks in it, although knowing most governments, they'll just pay people to try and kill them because that's how they roll, you know. Oh dear. Right, let's see if this motor oil colour works. Just Google bull sharks, Brisbane River, and you'll see what I mean, people. You know? Let's check something here. Excellent. I've been mucking around with cables and all sorts of stuff, people. I think I've finally got a cable that can charge the phone while I'm using it. And then we'll swap out to the other jig head and use some different colours. All right, this tide's coming in, fam. Whoa, whoa, did you see that behind the lure? All right, a few of the duck brigade are in. It's like Hunter Call of the Wild now, isn't it? Lovely. Oh, nice one, yeah, but bull sharks are a lot meaner than bass, mate. So... Oh, mate. Hey, Hawkster, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Oh, this isn't on properly because I slammed it at the water. Come on, bud. Back you come. Gotta try and maintain tension on the head there, buddy. Oh, they are, bud. Yeah. So, I mean, with the striped bass, they're a fish, and the bull sharks are a shark. So, you know. Hey, Jim1231, do the striped bass spawn in the rivers? Yeah, I don't know, mate. I'd probably take my chances with the great white there if I was you instead of the wife shark. They might be a bit more reasonable, you know. All right, people, that's not coming in properly now. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to try a few other colours and a different technique, and away we go. They spawn in fresh, do they? Okay. Well, mate, you want to hope that they do a lot to preserve the rivers in there. So, yeah, a lot of people don't realise that rivers are like filters. So if there's any pollution or any chemicals on the land, they'll usually end up in the water, if you know what I mean. So, oh, nice one, Bud Miser. Yeah, there was a guy in Esperance that killed two juvenile great whites, mate. He got fined of $5.5 grand each. And unfortunately, the Facebook peanuts got hold of the idea, and there was this massive debate and that sort of stuff, you know. So anyway, life goes on. When we go out in the kayak, we're guaranteed to see a shark, people. So, Facebook, anything, mate, really. Oh, really, Jimbo? God, that's terrible. I hope they sorted those pricks out. All in the name of production, eh? General Electric, okay, wow. That's terrible, mate. What a lovely day. Might go down the beach tomorrow, I think, Famo. We'll see how we go. Alright, I'm going to go back to a 3-inch tail now in the paddle tail. That's not the one. That's the one. That's not the one. There we go. That's not the one either. Oh, well, that's good, mate. Did GE pay for that out of their pocket or what? Or did the government get lumped with the bill? That's really quite light, isn't it? Is that not even sinking? Let's have a look. Let's do that again. I might need to use 3/16 ounce jig head on this fan. Oh, really? Do you know how much? Brackledge, how are you, bud? 20 years, yeah, matey, that's what they don't realise, you know. You've got some, do you have some like nuclear plants for power and that on the edge of rivers, Jim? And the thermal waters attract those Chesapeake Bay stripers and that sort of stuff? Remember reading an article on that. It was quite fascinating how they're attracted to the warm waters. Beautiful. 10.7 billion, that's fair. They would have made more than that. Yeah, we're not as bad here in Australia. We mainly have agriculture either side of rivers, but you know, that's in Western Australia, sorry. Don't know what it's like on the East Coast though. It's a thing, they've got to flutter down. Rightio, we've got about 15 minutes left, I think. We'll see how we go. Hey, Mystic, only one little tailer, mate. Oh, really? Okay. I think the next time I come down to fish this river, I might just flick a bait out and then just use soft plastics around it. So yeah, apparently they're attracted to the warmer water within a certain range that the power plant's sort of provided, you know. Right, yeah, I've got to go and get ready for work, I think. It's not really happening today, is it? I'm going to go back to the peppered prawn for the last sort of hurrah. No, the blue pepper neon. We'll see how that goes. It's the only one that we had any interest with. Rightio, let's bring that back. No, none at all. Blood Angel, you've got to go quite far north for those, mate. Nice to see you here, Blood Angel. Welcome, mate. Yeah, you got to go way up north for those, Blood Angel. Righto, fam. Well, I've got to shoot off for work now, so we're going to have to call the stream short today. So what we'll do is let's throw something out that is something that would probably suit. Yeah, that's all you can do, bud. If we've got many streamers, viewers from the States in here, stick around. All right, so let's yeah, Jimbo, do me a favour, mate. Don't use emotes of live streamers. Thanks, bud. Okay. You're welcome, everyone. Have a lovely day. We'll go and raid Police Chase Network for everyone. Thanks, mate. See ya.
There's the office.